do my little spiel of stuff that I want to catch y'all up on. So I am Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I've been doing this for 14 years, believe it or not. And I currently live in Fort Myers, Florida. I don't know why I say currently. We live here. I don't think we're going to be going anywhere. So today we're using a sketch, but one of the things I want to remind you of, there's two things. One, every week I do a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live and or a sketch or technique. So any week that you place an order through my online store, if it's done by Sunday, then you will receive the card kits from the class that I did that week to you. I'll send them to you free, and they'll get out in the mail within a day or so. Once I get confirmation of your order. If you place a $35 order in my online store, then you'll receive those card kits. If you place a $50 order or more, you'll get the card kits plus an embellishment of your choice. And since we have 2 weeks left of celebration, if you bump that $50 to a $60 order, then you'll also get, in addition, you'll get a celebration free stamp set or paper. And actually, if you haven't looked online, I would highly encourage you to go to my online store and pull up, just type in celebration. They've got all sorts of dies. They've got alphabet and number dies. They've got they've got several die sets that run between $30 and $35 in the $60 range. And then they have some punches. So if you like punches or dies, I would highly encourage you to go online, go to my online store. The link is below the video, and check out what they have in the celebration that you have the ability to get free. And most of those are with a $60 order. So you don't even have to bump it to the $120. So do that. Take a look at that. I do have the host code. I will, when we flip the camera down, I'll show that to you. But the host code, I'll just tell you, for the month of February is H3S4WTAC. So if you place an order, that way I'll know that that would qualify you for, and I'll get notified if you don't use it, but I would prefer that you use it if at all possible. Okay. And then the video I did yesterday on on YouTube was regarding our join special. Stampin' Up always does something a little bit above the norm when we have celebrations. So typically when you join Stampin' Up, and you can do that to get a discount, you're not required to hold classes. A lot of customers that join become hobbyists, and we just call them discount shoppers like myself. I've built a team, but most people just want to do it to get a discount. So this month until the end of February, for $125, you'll also get the ability to, you have two options. One is you'll get a free stamp set, and I'll hold the picture up in just a minute. We'll get a free stamp set, and then you get two Stampin' Write marker cases. So there's 10 in each. There's 4 colors, right? You got the subtles, the bright, regals, and what else? Subtles, regals, neutrals. So you can choose 2 of those. So you'll get 20 markers, which is about a $70 value added in with the stamp set. So you'll get all of that for $99 plus sales tax. So let's just say, give or take, it's going to run about $105. We cover the shipping. In your kit, you will also get a paper pumpkin kit. You will get some catalogs and the business supplies if you decide to do this as a business. If not, put your name and phone number on those catalogs and hand them out. So if somebody wants to order, they can order from you. Then you would get credit, a little bit of commission. And then when you place your orders, you're going to get a 20 to 25% discount depending on your purchasing of what you do. Now, the other option, if you don't want the markers and the stamp set, you can just do $155. They're going to give you a $30 additional. So you can choose up to $155 for the $99 plus sales tax, and everything else is the same. So keep that in mind. If it's something that you are looking for or you need, it's a great offer. You might as well take advantage of it. If you're going to be placing it an order anywhere in the $75, $80 range, I would highly encourage you to add another $15 to take advantage of this, $20 to get those free items. So, all right. So with that said, I'm going to turn the camera down. So give me just a minute, because it's going to take a little bit of time. I have to reach up and grab my camera and flip it down. So it's going to be a little whacked out. So just bear with me a minute. I'm going to go upside down because I got to twist this thing. All right, so hold on a minute. I'm going to get it down to the table. And then I'm going to pull my arm out. Hang on. Bring it up so we can get to the table. And I can keep bringing my arm up. And let me adjust this down a little bit. So this is the only part that I don't like. There we go. Oh, I got to pull it. This is the only thing I don't like because I have to readjust this thing. Okay, so let me pull it in just a little bit more. Sorry about all that. I think that's good. What do y'all think? Let me know. I think it looks good. What you think? What you think? This is my computer in the picture. So, all right, I think we're good. Now we do have some shadows. Let me get this thing out of the way. Hang on, because that's a little distracting. Let me move my computer back and put my water right here. Hang on a minute. Okay. All right, let's see. I think that helps. Let me see if I turn the light off. Bear with me one second. Let me turn this light off. That might be better. Does that look all right? I think it does. If we need more, if you need more light, let me know and I can adjust it. I can turn that back on, but it is showing a little bit of shadow. So let's just let that go. All right. So this is our Facebook Live free card kit that I just talked about, and then we're going to get started with our sketch. So, oh, actually, let me hold on a second. Let me put this back on here so that y'all can see. This is, and I'll bring it up some. This is the stamp set and the Stamp and Write markers that you get to choose from, and that would be the $99. You would get all of that. Okay, I'm gonna put the light back on. Let's see if that helps. Does that help any? Do you think? Let's try that. If we start getting shadows, then I'll move it. Okay. Now, with that being said, here's our sketch, and I will post a picture of this. Actually, y'all can just take a picture if you want. I'll just hold it up. I'm going kind of what I said earlier, and I don't know if y'all were watching or not, but sometimes we try to create our cards to make them look over the top, and sometimes we got to step back and, it's less is more. So, but this is a good place for somebody that's just starting out to learn how to card make. So using this sketch gives you the jumping point. It gives you a starting point to start, and then from there you can just build it however you want to do it. So these are very simple, easy cards. And again, it's just to help those people that may need a little jump start, or you just want to go back to the basics, or you just are having a brain fart, you can't figure out what you want to do. All right. So let me show you what I created, and we're going to create 2 cards. So I doubt we'll be on here more than 30 minutes. So that way you'll have more fun to spend on your Saturday. All right, we're using the Layering Leaves photopolymer stamp set. This was created by Rachel Tessman, and she, when you hit your $1 million mark of sales, then Stampin' Up! Allows you to help design a stamp set. And I tell you what, I love the sayings, and I love all of the little leaves. So they're 2-step stamping leaves. But I love the stamp set. It's very simple, but it's just got some great fonts and the size of the sentiments as well. So we're going to be working with that. And then this is, I'll show you, I did 3 cards to show you all just some different things that you can do. This one's very basic. And this is Petal Pink. And I am using that Xenia paper. I think that might be retired. I'm not sure if it's in or not. And then I just cut according to the sketch. Let me bring that back in here. I probably should put it where y'all can see it. This here is 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. And then the designer paper is 3 inches across by 4. And of course, it's your normal card base at 5.5 by 4.5. And then the sentiment, you can make this as big or small as you want. And this one's 2 by 2.5. So you can see, and then I add some embellishments, but just see how quick and easy that is. All right. So there's one. And then I thought, well, let's do something different. So I stamped using our ocean friends, and you know how much we love the ocean. I stamped the background. I actually used Seaside, let me find it, the Seaside Wishes stamp set, and that's the one that has the starfish, a large one, a small one, and it also has some the sand dollars. So I stamped, this is in Coastal Cabana, and I stamped those in the same Coastal Cabana. I did stamp off on, I stamped this one in um, normal, and then I thought, well, that's a little too dark. So I stamped off and added some of the little spots that they have in that stamp set as well. And I did the little ones, and I tried to keep it along the outside edges. But isn't that cute? And then I used this, the starfish paper, again, our sentiment, and then I used some retired, I think this is pumpkin pie um, thread, twine, or whatever you want to call it. And I just wrapped it underneath and popped this up on dimensionals. And then I did use the embellishments that come coordinate with the Ocean Friends, and it's the Sunny Day iridescent dots, and that's what those look like. So that coordinates with the Ocean Friends suite. All right. And then the inside, since when I cut this, I had another piece. So I went ahead and cut that and added it to the inside of the card. So again, you can see how it looks like the sketch, but look how the difference, look at the difference between the two. Very simple, stepped up version. This is probably, I should have probably showed this one last. This would probably be like the third stepped up, but that's okay. And then here's another one that I did, and this was using the layering leaf stamp set that I just talked to you about. And I did the same thing. This is garden green. And this is the season of gold paper. Now this is on low inventory. This is in our online exclusives. And this is the paper that I think these things are leaves, but to me, if you look at the paper, it looks like, to me, it looks like little hearts, the way they've got them on there. But anyway, so garden green. And then again, this is the back side with the gold stars, if you will, or whatever those little things are. So I cut that from the paper, just flipped it over. And then I put some baker's twine underneath, again, popped it up on dimensionals. But I took the leaf, and I only used the this leaf here. I didn't use the two-step part. I just like this leaf itself right here. So I just stamped that one and garden green on, again, on around the edges, just to not make the card look so plain. And then stamp You're a Great Friend, and that comes from, oh, where did I get that one from? That is from, oh, I'm trying to think. I will let you know, because I don't see it I don't find it off the top of my head. I'll let you know where I got that one. I know, oh, I think it's in the Crafting with You, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll confirm that. And then these are some of the new embellishments. Oops, sorry about that. I just got a sale through my Etsy store. And these are embellishments that are, well, I don't know what I did with them, but anyways, these are some embellishments they have. They might be retired. And I popped these on there, popped this up on dimensionals, and then again, I took an extra piece and added it to the bottom of the inside of the card. So you can see how simple these cards are, and especially if you're doing the background, it makes a huge difference in the background. Okay, so let's get those off to the side. I'm going to put put those over there, and then I will put, and I didn't even think about grabbing something let's do the leaf. We'll do the leaf thing on both. We'll do those on these. So let me pull out one of the leaves, or actually I could just do dots around it. I think I'll just do some dots. Let's try that and see what that does. So bear with me just a second. Let's get a block here. Oopsie. And I'm going to grab the Gorgeous Grape. We're going to start with the Gorgeous Grape right here. And this one we're going to do, so we'll put that one off to the side. All right, so we're going to do Gorgeous Grape. We're going to decorate our envelope. And then this is the Perennial Lavender. This also is in the online exclusives. And then I cut the piece off. All I did was cut it a little bit longer. And now I've got my piece that's going to go underneath, just like our sketch shows. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get started. I did not score this. So I'm going to fold this in half. And my bracelet, it's got a little thing that's hanging off. It's hitting the glass mat. It's driving me crazy. If you heard the ching ching on my phone, which I probably should have muted it, just to let you all know that I sell all of my retired products through my Etsy store. And my Etsy store is at Shall We Stamp One. I think it's under Shall We Stamp One, if I'm not mistaken. But if you pull up Shall We Stamp, I'm sure it's going to pop up. And then I've recently started selling my cards. Michael's has started Maker's Mart, if you will. And they reached out to me about putting my cards on there. So I'm doing that. I'm going to do it and see how it goes. The only problem I have with that means I have to have a place to store all the cards that I'm putting on for sale. So I normally when I get a lot, I send them to Cards for Soldiers. So I think what I'll be doing, I'm going to try it for 6 months and see how it goes. I've packaged them in packages of 5 or 10 and offered free shipping on several. So I'll put a link down on that at some point so that y'all can visit that too. If you are someone that is not a big card maker and would like to purchase some, or maybe you don't have the particular stamps I use and you may want that kind of design. All right. So, okay, just to throw a little that in there. Now I think I'm just going to stamp the dots, and I've, again, this is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to take my Gorgeous Grape, which is the color of my cardstock, and I'm just going to stamp around randomly on the edges because I don't want this thing to look like it's, so bare and naked. It just gives it some texture. So we'll just stamp around. I'm just trying to turn the stamp a little bit so it doesn't look like we're going in the same direction, though I do kind of like the way I've got it like that. So I'm stamping off a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'm just going to go around all the outside of the edges so that it gives us a little something so our card doesn't look so plain Jane, right? At least we're going to add a little something to it, okay? And then I'll do a little bit in here because we know that's probably where our paper is going to come in. So we'll just stamp a little, and you can stamp as much as you want or as little as you want. And I think we'll leave it at that. It's probably going to have a little bit of space on each side, but that's okay. We'll go with that. Let me, bear with me one second. I forgot I'm actually in my, if you want to call it my craft studio, my studio in the morning room, because my husband went to exercise, so I didn't have to pack up and move it to the bedroom. So this gives me a little bit more space, which I really like. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to close this up because I don't want to wear that. I'm going to put that over here out of the way. And now it's going to be pretty basic of what we're doing, right? So here's the sketch. I'm going to leave it right there so that y'all can see it. And then this is our perennial lavender paper, which isn't this gorgeous. When they came out with this last year, I think we all fell in love with it. So I'm just going to place it on here. I think I did a pretty good job with those dots, don't you think? Now, is that close enough, or do you all want me to bring the camera down? I don't think I can zoom in. Let me see. Schedule, text, video settings. I don't know if I can zoom. I think I'm going to have to, read up on that. So let's see if I can bring this down just a little bit. I might have to bring this out. I'm not sure if I don't want my camera to fall. Let's see if that helps just a little bit. All right. Every little bit helps. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now, the first thing that we need to do, obviously, we want to place this. Now, you can place it in the center if you want to do that. You could place it down here like what the sketch shows. So it really depends on what you are, what are you feeling? Do you want it in the center and then put that there? Let's do it in the center. I haven't done that one yet. So in the center it goes. So we're just going to add our multi-purpose glue to that. And we're going to put this one in the center. So we'll place that right here. And this is the 4 by 3/4 of an inch. Isn't that pretty green? I just love that. Like a shaded spruce, kind of a combination of all of the different colors. And then this one, you can lay it down or you can pop it up on dimensionals. I'm going to lay this down flat. And I'm thinking I did a couple of these. I think one of them I did. Yeah, actually I laid them all down flat. But isn't this gorgeous? It's got whatever these little things are called and the butterflies that are flying around. So let's go ahead and add this to the front of the card. All right. So we'll put that there. And again, it's very simple, nothing fancy, but it is, what it is, right? And then we're going to come in and we are going to stamp our sentiment. So let me bring in, I think this one I'm going to do So Happy for You. So this could be for whatever. Use your sentiments that you have, use your stamps that you have at home. And we're just going to ink this up. This is Highland Heather. I thought this would be a little bit lighter than the grape, gorgeous grape. And it looks pretty dark, doesn't it? All right, that's Highland Heather, just to let you know. So we'll put that over there. And we'll lay this down in the section that needs to be cleaned. And then this one I am going to pop up. I think I will add a little bit of twine underneath. So I am not good at the wrapping piece, but I'm going to put some seal and I'm going to just kind of loop it around. I know there's others that tend to do this much better than I do. I'm still working on that, but it's work in progress, right? And then if this is too much, we'll just cover it up. No big deal. All right, let me make sure I'm in the camera because since I lowered it, I got to get in the camera. All right, so I'm just going to wrap it around 4 fingers and we'll see what happens. I'll get my little pinky in there. So we're going to wrap it around 4 and see, that's why sometimes you might have to, let's just do it this way because I don't know how people do it, but I'm doing it my way. So we're going to have a little tail hanging out and then we'll just bring this one up and I'm just going to loop it. I want it over on this side. So I'm going to loop it. And if y'all do this and know how to do it really well, share how you do it. Now you can make several loops and I want to try to keep this one will probably just be, there we go. I'll probably just leave it like that. We'll tuck that one there and then I'll trim this one off. I'll probably cut that. So let's do that. Let me cut that one off. All right. So I think we'll go with that. That's, I think that'll look fine. And then we're going to use some dimensionals to pop this up on, get those out and we'll see how that goes. All right. So we'll put one right over here. Put one right here. And I always like to put one in the center just because, you just never know. I'm going to put it right on top of that and I'll stick this one right in the corner here. So I think we'll be good. All right. So I'm going to push my thumbnail down and pull these off. Oh. And then we'll do one more card and we're going to decorate our envelope because we have this paper. So rather than having it left over, we're going to use it up. Make sure that we use it. All right, so we're going to place this right here. Let me get my see now the loop. Hang on. He's wanting to get on top of my dimensional. All right, so we're going to lay that right about there. And I think that's good. All right. And then I'm going to take some of the 24-26 in color shimmer gems. And you can see we have some of the dark pink, but I think that will go fine with our purple. We actually have some green. Let's pull in some of that green. Let's do that. So let's put a green. I think that'll pull that color in pretty good. So we're going to put a large one there and we'll put a small one down here. And where else do we want? Let's do like a triangle. Let's do kind of like that. How's that? All right, and then of course your white piece will go on the inside. Actually, we'll have a piece that we can cut off. So let's see if we have enough when we do our envelope. I'll bring out the white. All right, so now let's go ahead and do our envelope, and then I'm going to come back with the straps, and we'll add that to the inside. Now, if we do this side, you see that our flowers are going in kind of, that's going to look funny, right? So you can't do it that way. So we're going to flip it over and we're going to go ahead and do this back side here. I should have enough. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. That way I can use this to put on the inside of my card. So we'll just bring that pattern right on in. We'll cut that off with the actual. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that. And we'll put the seal on here. And let me get back in the camera. So I lowered the camera now, and then, so now it's, okay. So we're gonna lay this down. And normally I cut these at 2 3/8 or 2 1/2 by 6, just so I've got enough to go over the edges, and then I'll just trim it up. And so we're just gonna lay it right there, and then come in with our paper snips. And you'll see, now we still have enough there that we can use for something else. Unfortunately, for this particular pattern, our design, our flowers are going in the opposite direction of what we need, but that's okay. We'll find something else. I'm not going to throw that away because that's going to be that's a nice size piece to use. So I'll just cut off the rounded parts of what I'm doing. So we'll go ahead and cut that. All right. And then pull over that off. All right. And so there's our envelope. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, and I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And this is, hang on a minute. This is, let's see. And this is about 3.5 inches, which is fine. So I'm going to cut it down. This is 1 inch. I'm going to make it 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to bring that in, hopefully hold it in place, and then trim that off. And this piece we're going to toss. And then what we can do is on our piece that goes on the inside. Now this won't go, but we can put that like that. So that way our flowers are going in the same direction. So let's put our inside piece. We'll just add some adhesive to that. All right, so we're going to add that to there. So this is how you can use up some of your smaller scraps too. And see, I should have probably cut it right there because that part, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'll pull it down a little bit. Hang on. Let me scooch it down just a tad, and then I'll trim it off. There we go. And no one's going to know. Look, can't even tell. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we'll add this piece to the inside. Now, when we write our sentiment and they open the card, they will see that we pulled that paper from the front towards the inside. And again, this is on a base of Gorgeous Grape. All right, so there is our card using that sketch. Isn't that, I mean, very simple, but don't you just love these? I just am so in love with these colors. Isn't this gorgeous? I just love that. All right, so that's one card, and I did leave a little bit of white strip right here, but that's okay. I should have pushed that back, but that's all right. All right, now we're going to do one more, and this one, we're going to use the Utterly Adorable. So let me move this little guy up there. All right, let's move these into the trash. Now, I am working on, we have these scrapbooking. When Stampin' Up! Purchased close to my heart when they were going out of business. They, are a scrapbook company, and Stampin' Up! Used to do scrapbooking, and then they kind of got out of it. But now they're coming back. And so another thing to go look at when you're in my online store is just type in scrapbooking and look at some of the scrapbooking. They call them workshop kits, and some of them are for scrapbooking, and there's some that are card workshops, or you can take a scrapbooking kit and make it into a card kit. So I'm working on one that I bought. I'm just getting around to doing it. It's no longer available, but it's called Lake Life, and it's going to make 16 cards. So when I get those done, hopefully we'll do a video to show you, but keep that in mind too. So if you're looking for something that's going to help, if you don't have a lot of supplies at home or paper, those kits will work perfectly if you are looking to make cards. So just keep that in mind. I think that kit came with all of the cardstock pre-cut and scored to make the 16 cards. Some are slim lines and the envelopes. And then it came with a stamp set, a die, a set of dies, And it also came with two, four, six different, two of each of three colored 12 by 12 card stocks. And then I think there's three or four more 12 by 12 white card stocks to use in that kit. So it's a lot of stuff. And I think it was like $42. So when you take that and divide that out and you're making 16 cards, that's really not that expensive when you look at it that way. But I'll show you the cards once I get them done. Okay, so this is Pretty Peacock, and I just folded this and realized I didn't have it laying quite flat. So let me go back and do the bone folder again. All right. Welcome, Phyllis. How are you? I'm glad to see you finally. How's everything in Tallahassee? Phyllis used to live in the Villages, and that's where I met her. And she came to some of my classes. I used to go to her house and help her, and we've stayed friends. She's now in Tallahassee, so we've stayed friends, so that makes it really nice. Okay, so now we are doing our Pretty Peacock, and let's do the dots again. Like, I just feel like I'm doing dots, and we're going to use Pretty Peacock ink. And again, we're going to work with the Utterly Adorable, and this is our sketch. If you're just joining, let me pull it down just a little bit. I brought the camera in so y'all could see a little bit better. Actually, hang on a minute. Let me fold this thing in half. That way it gives me some more room and y'all can see better. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take our card base and we are going to stamp around the edges. And if you're just joining, I will show you the cards when we get done of what I made previously to today, so you can see some other samples. So don't jump off just yet if you've joined and missed that part. So, okay, we're going to take the dots, and this is from the, what did I say? Stamp set. This is from the Layering Leaves, and that's what we're using for our sentiments. And I'm just going to randomly stamp the dots around the edges. I got to find my piece of paper that I was using. Hang on a minute. What did I do with it? I don't know. All right, that's all right. We're just going to go with it. Okay, so we're just going to stamp this again, and you'll see why we're doing this. You'll see when you see the cards that I did previously, I think it makes a huge difference in the look of the card rather than having the base just completely blank. So, and I'll show you those again when we get done. So I'm just going to randomly, I'm stamping off some on the paper, on the cardstock, and turning my stamp so that we can make sure we get all of the areas covered. Oops. I got to try to remember to stay inside the camera. That's my apologies. And I got this one little corner right there. So we'll just stamp that, add some ink, and push that down right there. Okay. And again, because of the stamp, we're going to come in a little bit so that we don't have any holes. All right. And then we'll just do it this way. Okay. I think that's good. All right. We're going to close this up for now. We'll come back and use this when we get ready to do our sentiment. And all right. Now on this one, we're using the paper from that, the Awesome Otters. Utterly Awesome. So this is the piece that we're using. And again, your card base is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then this piece is 3 by 4. So that gives us the template. And then the piece that goes behind is cut from the same paper. I just flipped it over, and that's 4 inches by 3/4. All right. And then your piece for your sentiment, and it can be whatever size your sentiment is, but I just did this one at 2 by 2.5. Now this one, the lavender one we did, I put the piece in the back. In the center, I'm going to move that down. So I'm going to put it down towards the bottom of the card this time. Okay. So we're going to put it right there, and we'll add our adhesive. Let me get up here in the camera. Not that y'all need to see me put glue on something, but that's what I'm doing. All right. And then this is kind of fun because this looks like it's water. And that's for those otters. If you haven't looked this up, you need to look at this set. It's so cute. Awesome. Utterly Awesome. Or just type in otters, and I'm sure it's going to pull it up. All right. So we're going to put it about that low. Now let me pull it up a little bit higher. I've got room to move it. So usually I want this to come down. Let's move it up just a little bit more. It's one thing I like about the liquid glue is it does give us the ability to move our paper before it sticks, right? And okay, I think that's good. We're going to go about like that. Okay. All right. So this one, again, you can pop this up if you choose to. I'm going to lay it down again because we're going to put some twine underneath. So we'll go ahead and attach this. You hate to cover up that water, but isn't that cute? I just love this. And I love the colors. These are my favorite colors. The Peacock, the Lost Lagoon, the Pool Party, Coastal Cabana. You'll see some of those in just a minute. All right, so we're going to lay that down. And this is kind of a leafy background. This is like the underwater stuff that the otters are swimming around. So we're going to lay that right there. Make sure I've got it straight. Move it over. So the liquid glue is really good for that. You want to move and position your stuff. All right. Now we're going to, let's stamp first, and then I'm going to put some twine. We're going to use the cord that comes with this suite. So we're going to use Pretty Peacock, and this one, we're just going to put, I'm stamping this one Best Wishes, and that could really be for anything, right? So I'm just going to get some ink on it. There we go. I'm just going to stamp that right about there. Okay, that's dark, but I think that's going to work. Okay, move this out of the way. And then we are going to bring this in. And let me get my other, oh, here it is, my other envelope. I just wonder what happened to it. So we're going to decorate the envelopes for these. Oh, it's right here in front of me. Okay, this one we're going to pop up on dimensionals. But again, before we do that, I'm going to add my seal because I want to be able to have it hold this cord in place. And this is that really beautiful, isn't this pretty, this cord? It's a little bit thicker, but it's shiny and soft. It's not your baker's twine. It is, I just love this. So we're going to use this, and I'm going to try to wrap this around. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to use the larger side of my hand, and let's see if we can get this to work, that maybe we can stretch this out some and get a loop or something going. So let's see. All right, so we want to, let's see how we can do this. I'm going to twist it, and then we may have, it might be a little bit too much, but if it is, we'll just play with it. So let's do, we'll put one there. Hang on. Hold up. Let me get my fingers in there. Hang on. All right, so we're going to do a twisty, and then I'm going to lay this down. Now, one of these, I'm going to bring it out because we want to show it. So we'll put that there, and we'll use this as a starting point, and then I can adjust the twine as far as my loops go. And I know if y'all do this and have an easier way, please share with me. I am open to all suggestions. All right, so we're going to do that, and then I'm just going to pull it over here, plop that one down, bring this one over. And I don't want them quite that big, and I don't really want it at the end. I want it over in the corner. So you just kind of have to manipulate it, right? So this one, I want a little bit skinnier. Let's do it like that. So we have two. You see how that seal is very sticky. And then this one, I'm going to put him together. Do y'all do this? Do you talk to yourself when you're crafting? All right, and then this one we're going to pull in, and we're going to just lay him right here. And actually, let's see, we may pull that up. Let me see what this looks like. I think that'd be fine. Actually, this one needs to go. Hang on, let's pull this one over here a little bit. So it's not quite all lopsided. It's all on the same side. So let's move them. There we go. I think that will work. And we'll bring this guy up so he's hanging out. Actually, no, I think we'll just leave the one. I'm going to trim this one up. This is a little bit too long, and we'll just cut it out like that. Okay. I think that'll be fine. It might be a little much for that. And we're going to pop that up on dimensionals. I think that's fine. I love the color. Now, maybe we should have this guy coming out, but, and you know what we could do? The piece that I just cut off, we're just going to use that, and we're going to make it look like it is going, we'll just, because no one's going to see the back of this, right? So we're just going to do it like that. That way we've got piece hanging there. All right, so we're going to put that on dimensionals. Let me grab those. Oops, right here on the tabletop. All right. So we'll put some dimensionals on here, and I'm going to space them out and put that one right there. And I'm going to put one in the center. I'm going to put one right here. And then I'm actually going to put one, because I'm going to hold this guy down a little bit, but I want him to go this direction just to help hold him in place. And he's going to twist on me, but that's okay. We'll get him going. All right, so let's pop these off. So thumbnails down, unless you're using take your pick tool. I just find sometimes it's easier just to do this way. We'll pop this one off, and we'll pop this one off. Okay. All right, and then we're going to add that right about here. Let me put that guy over there. And we'll put that right about like that. I think that looks nice, a little different, but that's okay. All right, and then we're going to add, we need to put some embellishments on here. So let's see what we can find that we can put with our otters. There's my paper that I was looking for. Let's see. Those would probably work. So this is the Sunny Day Iridescent. This goes with the Ocean Friends. But we're going to use, actually, I'm going to use the green ones because I think that's going to look pretty. Yeah, let's see. Which ones? No, I think these will go better. Let's do, these are all basically the same. No, these are a little bit smaller, I think, but these are a little bit bulkier. So when you go to mail something, you probably have to put it over the top of your card and put a piece of cardstock over it. And then we'll put one right up here. How's that? There we go. All right, so that's that. Let me put this back in the sleeve. And then we'll go over the other cards again for those that just joined. We are going to create an envelope. And we're going to do our inside piece for our card. So let's go ahead and do our envelope first, and then I'll take the scraps from that, and we'll cut a piece to go on the inside of our card. All right, this one's a small piece, but this should fit perfectly. And again, I'm going to probably cut off before I glue it. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and glue it down, and I'll cut it off afterwards, and then we'll have a piece that we can use. All right, so I'm using my seal. It just tends to work better with the paper so that it holds the designer paper in place, and my seal is getting ready to run out. So hopefully I've got enough to get it on here for this one. And we'll just get some little strips there. There we go. Getting ready to have to replace that. All right, and we're going to put this piece on the back. So I'm just going to leave enough on the edge to get it to where I can cut it. And then we're going to butt it right up to the fold line. And I think that's pretty good, actually. I'm going to cut this piece off so that I can use that. All right, and then we're going to trim this off. And I could have put the tropical piece, but again, it was going in the wrong direction, right? So if you're going to put it on here, you want your design, so when they look at the back of the envelope, it's going to be looking in the portrait, not landscape mode, right? So let's just trim this off. All right, and these are scraps. Move those out of the way. And there is our envelope. Isn't that pretty? And then there's the card. Now I'm going to take this piece and we're going to cut this. Now this may not be long enough, so let's see how we can do this. So let's cut. We might be able to do two. So let's do 3/4 of an inch. That might work actually. Let's cut this one 3/4, and maybe we'll do one on each end. We'll see. Let's see what we can do with this. Now, this is was not planned to do this, but let's try it and see what it looks like. It may not look right, so we'll try it. We'll try it anyways. All right, so this is our piece that we're going to put on the inside. Actually, that tropical actually looks pretty good. It is going in the right direction. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to cut it like this, and we'll trim it down. I'm just going to attach them, and we'll just put one. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. Why don't we just put 2 pieces? What do you think? Does that look funny, or should I just do one in the center? That might look a little funny, because that looks a little too small, doesn't it? Like we forgot something. Let's put this one on the end, and then I'm going to add this one over here. I think it'll be fine. We're gonna go for it, because just remember, right? Whoever gets this card, they're going to think it's gorgeous regardless, right? So we're going to attach this one because it's got those main flowers right there. So I'm going to bring that over here and butt that up. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. And I think we should have enough room. All right, my dog is snoring. And we're going to put that one right, we're going to butt it right up to there. And pull it down just a little bit. Now that was a little bit higher, but that's okay. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over that. Okay, so let's turn this around, kind of pull it down a little bit. And you know, by the time we get done and this card is written and signed and it goes out to whomever, it's gonna look gorgeous. So that's fine. All right, that's okay. And I can go back. I'll try to fix this one. This isn't glued down quite as much. I can probably trim that up some. We'll see. That, or we'll just let it go and write over top of it. All right, so we're going to add this to the inside. Now, granted, I probably should have just gotten a piece of that is one strip, but we'll use up our little scraps. And actually, when you look at it, you don't even know. We know it's a little higher on one, but if you weren't looking for that, you wouldn't see it, right? So we'll push that down. And there we go. There's our other card. Okay, so here are the 2 cards that we made today. Here's the sketch again, so we can pull that out so y'all can see that. All right, let's move this over here, and then I'm going to bring in the other 3 cards that I did before we did this yesterday. So we have, this is the first card. This one's very basic, and this is the one I was saying that there is just the petal pink. There's nothing stamped on here. This is using the Xenia designer paper. I just cut the strip. This is the back side, and then added some of those gems that we've been using. And then I brought that purple strip right onto the inside of that card. And then the next one I did was the garden green, and this is using the layering leaves. And I just stamped them randomly like I did the dots around the edges. This is the Season of Gold. This paper is in the online store, on the online exclusives. That's the back side of the paper. And then I stamped You're a Great Friend and popped some gold dimensionals to try to pull in with the little starry things and put some baker's twine behind it. And then this one is Coastal Cabana, and this is using the Ocean Friends paper, designer paper, and I used the what did I say? It was the Seaside Wishes. I used the starfish here, and I used the small one. Now this one I stamped in full, and then I realized it was too dark, so I stamped off and stamped the smaller ones along with the dots, and put some pumpkin pie twine underneath. The sentiment added some of the ocean jewels, which comes in that suite, and they are called Sunny Day Iridescent Dots, and pop that up on dimensionals. And then this piece I carried over to the inside as well. So you can see the difference in the cards based on how you create them and what you do to your background. And of course, if you add the paper to the inside of the card, it makes a huge difference. So there are our cards that we created using this sketch. And again, as I mentioned before, Sketches are a great place to start if you're somebody that's just starting out, or if you have a minute that you can't think of what you want to do. This is a great jumping off point. So at least gives you an idea of what you can do. So here are the cards. I hope you've enjoyed this. I appreciate, and guess what? We did all this in, well, almost 30 minutes, almost an hour, believe it or not, probably because I talked too much. All right. Thank you. Hi, Judy. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope this has inspired you. I hope you take a picture of the sketch, and that gives you the dimensions. It's 5.5 by 4.5. The strip is 4 by 3 quarters. The designer paper is 3 by 4, and your sentiment, depending on your sentiment, is going to, I use 2 by 2.5. All right, there you go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. As I mentioned before, I did figure out how to do YouTube, I think. So I think we'll be good. All right, if I can help with anything, please let me know. And again, thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your Saturday to spend with me. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and I will see you Tuesday coming up for another Facebook Live. All right, everyone. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. Bye now.